And then you have your own podcast, Adversity Kings, where you talk about life, money, and winning with cool people. When did you start your podcast?
Started the podcast in November of 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
What episode? Like, how many episodes you know?
I think 290 officially on YouTube, and I think 300 plus on Spotify.
So you're in the top 1%. Did you know that?
Yeah. It's the top 1% of the 1% actually. Because
no, exactly.
Yeah. Because I was like, top 1%. I found out very quickly was like going past 20 episodes, and I was like, that's not going to be an issue for me. I more so got inspiration because I was never intrigued in life insurance, and when I made that first million, it was a gross million. I think a lot of young entrepreneurs need to be more authentic about that because it was a fraction of a liquid million. I kept $100,000.
Yeah.
It just looked cool on a 1099.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that was big inspiration for me to realize like how important it is to realize a lot of kids might think, and young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in general might think like, you know, we have, you know, a saving problem. We have a making problem. There's somebody out there that's making $1 million a day. And I promise you they have more liquid money. More than likely they have more liquid money than the guy that's making a gross $1 million a year, like I was. And so simultaneously, I started to think when I was in a corporate insurance company and making these great commissions, and I was thinking to myself, what could I do that I own more of? And I don't care about real estate, nor do I have the capital for massive real estate. And I'm not going to go do these single flips. Like that looks like it's going to take forever, and I don't want to go in some dirty house. I did that in high school, cleaning demolition. You know what I mean? Cleaning out a dirty house. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. And I kept seeing Mr. Beast and the Pauls and all these people and guys that were, you know, building these brands. And, you know, ultimately, you know, I listened to a clip from Andrew Tate, and he was like, the individual that can generate the most attention, at the end of the day, that's a marketing company. I was looking at Super Bowl commercials, and they charge $8 million for 30 seconds. I was like, if I could do a fraction of Rogan, the Super Bowl commercials and platforms, and build something up with value, and I love talking to people and culture and things like that. I know over the years, not overnight, I'll own that digital real estate.
Right.
So that was the dream, and still the dream and vision, and it's grown. We just recorded with the mayor of Miami yesterday.
Oh no,
yeah,
Suarez.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Suarez.
Yeah. So we just connected.
I saw
with
him
Suarez.
at the UFC fight.
Yeah. So like, you know, we got connected with Suarez yesterday. We did Jorge Masvidal a couple weeks ago.
Love Jorge too. Yeah.
Andre Arlovsky, and when I first started the podcast, my first episode was the guy that edited my podcast. I was like, I don't know who to interview. Yeah. And so we interviewed him. And the first year, bro, I was taking basically homeless people in Chicago, just saying, hey, you want to do a podcast? I was just trying to get anybody and everybody and get reps. If somebody put $100 million check in front of me, I'd like to say right now, I'd say no, but I don't know, bro. Maybe I'd say, yeah, give me the money. And then I, you know, go all in on the podcast. That's what Patrick David did. He took a couple $100 million and, you know, he went all in on Valuetainment, built up this massive facility up in Fort Lauderdale.
Right?
And
Did you see him in what's his little side guy? Not the funny, not the Adam? Little fun. The Adam. Did you see him and Adam get into it the other day?
Or who got into it?
Pat and Adam
on the podcast.
On the podcast.
Yeah,
you saw that?
I swear they argue sometimes.
They argue all the time. But this one was like damn near like shaming.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that one.
Like Pat was like correcting him. It was interesting.
He's definitely the big dog.
Adam, like definitely coward.
I mean, he's the big dog there.
He was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was funny.
Yeah, that's
but
nuts.
What a great. We've actually we gave them a bunch of waters but then they came back with some crazy talk.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're in this space because you've I think if I'm not mistaken, you've had like guys on your podcast that like sell these programs and stuff like that to people. I always find it to be very like interesting, especially when someone like for example, Pat and his team, they, you know, brought me to the office and called me 1 million times and, you know, like whatever you want to call it, like romance me into, and then they got me on the phone with their final sales guy, and he was like, yeah, it'll be $50,000 for an hour with Pat Bet David, you know, and I'm like, why would I do that? Like, why would I do that?
Yeah,
like there's no way that is that valuable. It's impossible. Like not where I am. You know what I mean? So it was interesting.
Dude, like that's the exact number I've gotten in regard to like putting together a podcast. And I would say in regard to podcasting, I can see the return of me putting the stick, because it's like sticker sales. Like the bigger names I get on the pod, the more I could sell to the smaller name of here's why you're paying to get on to this pod. It's a combination of those. But like in regard to if I'm in your shoes and I'm, you know, scaling gyms and, scaling, my beverage company, I would want proof, like the amount of money I've spent on, I spent so much money on, coaching over the last so many years, and I'm realizing, like, why did I spend all this money? You know what I mean? I could have had more money saved and been more intentional with who has sold an insurance company. And I could have just spent that money with Pat of like, instead of all the money I've spent with so many different coaches and go to this event. And it's like, really, it's just a bunch of slappies where it's like, we just go here and praise this dude on stage. It's like, I would pay, $50 grand for how can you show me sell this insurance company faster for $200 million. So I think when it comes to this coaching space, 99.99% of these people are idiots. And I don't know if it's more, I don't think the coaches are the idiots. I think the people that are buying it.
Well, it's like OnlyFans,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I'm not mad at the girls.
Yeah.
I'm mad at all these losers that are buying it.
That's where I get like, where I'm like, and I understand it because when you're super young, that's usually like the audience. It's like the young and the guys they're looking for a shortcut.
Yep.
And they're thinking like, oh, that guy's got a Lambo. And it's like, when you really understand getting a Lamborghini, it's like, come up with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, put it down, finance it to 5-7, like whatever you can do.
Right.
And you're paying $3 grand a month. And you start to realize like, I'm not impressed by that. I'm impressed by, I walk in, this guy has 7 gym facilities. I'm looking at a beverage company. Now I'm like, securing cash to operate all of that is a lot different than you having a Huracan. Me at 19 years old, though, I wouldn't have been able to recognize that. So I could see me at 19 years old buying a course.
But it's sad though, right?
It is sad because we need more like proper education on entrepreneurship opposed to these online coaches get all this glamorification of like, this is how you build a business. And these guys are just selling morning routines. And I'm like, this is insane.
Or these copy and paste workout programs.
Yeah, I'm like, this is insane. You guys are making, and like, kudos to them. I respect
and kudos
cash.
to them.
Yeah, I respect
and
cash.
That's the thing that's like, you find yourself kind of like,
I get mad at myself. I'm like
hating on it a little bit, but then you're also like, I mean, damn, they are making money, like crazy money.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, am I doing something wrong? You know, it's like,
and that's the thing is like, I will consult in correspondence to what I feel that I am 10 times better than at somebody. And for me right now, that's insurance.
Yeah.
I can't coach on anything else. I don't care to coach somebody on athletics work. I ask my girl what to eat and like how my form looks half the time. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not coaching somebody on fitness. They hit me up and I turn so many people away. And what I like about me and the guys I've gotten like mentorship from, like shout out to my dog, Eric Spofford. This dude's worth, you know Eric Spofford?
I'm not sure.
So he sold a sobriety company for like $130+ million.
Okay.
And lives down here in Miami. I can't tell you how many, just like how much advice he's given me, hopped on my podcast, all this, didn't ask me for a dime. And I'm like, so I start to think of it this way, like somebody that's really wealthy, are they asking you to buy a course or anything like that? Right. Like I think like more of the price and the qualification would be like, are you a good dude? And then I'll spend I give people so much free sauce in the insurance game because they're just not weird. And I'm like, I have this recognition of like kind of like what your brand stands for, of like being misunderstood. If I look at myself like a pit bull and I can recognize you're just kind of a baby pit, I'm going to just give you some sauce on like just charge it to the game. I know God's got me. Yeah. Opposed to I'm going to need $5,000 for me to tell you something that's going to take 10 seconds. Right. You know what I mean? On like what you need to critique in your game. And I feel like I can sleep better at night doing that and operating that way. You know, if it's going to take me longer to get there. And it's going to come
back to you too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It might take longer, but ultimately you can live with yourself. You can feel good about yourself,
and have a real business that can be sold.
Exactly. And you have a great reputation. Too,
exactly.
You know, because that's really at the end of the day, that's all we really have. Yeah. Right.
Because the super big dogs, the Frisellas, they ain't impressed by those online coaches. You can just hear all their content. Yeah. They don't want nothing to do with those guys. Exactly. They're like, keep me away from those guys. Yeah. I've had guys told me that have sold companies like, like Sarasani. He comes up in Chicago, he'd come up to my office and speak for free. He's like, as long as you don't market this like some coaching course, I'll come up and spit because I don't want to be anything like those guys. Yeah. And I'm like, damn.
Let me see if I got some good questions for you. We've just been vibing. So
bro, these are the best pods.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to flow.
Exactly.
It took me so many reps to start flowing. And it's not even reps, honestly. I think to flow, you just need a good dude on there.
I was about to say, every single time I've just had a good dude on or a good woman on here, like you just talk from the heart and it just comes out because, you like-minded, you think alike, you've been through some similar experiences and it just flows.